Ba, 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 ba.
Good morning and welcome to Next News. I'm Ysabella and here's our top story. We have just received breaking news of a vehicle flying off a cliff in the Grand Canyon. Here's Poleen with more details of this tragic scene.
Good morning, I am Poleen and here at this horrifying sight of a white Lexus hurling off a 200-story cliff in the Grand Canyon. This road trip started off as a vacation for a young couple to the extraordinary Grand Canyon, until something went terribly wrong. The driver of the car increased speed, accelerating the motion of the vehicle and spiraling out of control, causing the car to go hurling off the ledge. The vehicle went free-falling down the cliff. The impact of the crash's gravitational pull forced the car to scatter into pieces. Back to you, Ysabella.
Now we are here with Sarah with the makers of this accident.
Hello and good morning. I am Sarah Markarian and I am here with the two that caused this horrifying crash. Here with me now is acceleration and force. Now, how did you two cause this crash to happen?
Well, the young couple started out speeding on the empty dirt road, so I decided to pay them a little visit. I started out accelerating their speed even farther than they already was. Then I forced them to spin out of control, changing their direction every second. And it caused them to fly off the cliff. But after it was all up to force.
First, I brought the car hurling down with my gravitational pull. Then I damaged the car's brakes by causing friction, more specifically sliding friction. When the driver pressed on the brakes and slid across the dirt floor, the force of the brakes and the friction of the tires against the floor, damaging the brakes. And finally, the impact of my gravitational pull forced the car to break into pieces.
So for our viewers who don't know what these terms mean, could you explain?
Scientifically, acceleration means the rate at which velocity changes with time. You can also find out the velocity of an object by subtracting the object's final velocity minus the initial velocity dividing by the time. Acceleration refers to increasing speed, or changing direction. In this case, I did 2 out of 3. So because of the car was going 40 miles per second, at first, then increased to 80 miles per second in 5 seconds. The acceleration of the speeding car was 8 meters per second squared.
Interesting. And what about you, force?
Well, force is a push or pull, and it's described by magnitude and by the direction in which it acts. There are different types of forces. One is a net force. A net force is a combination of all forces acting on an object. The net force determines whether an object moves and which direction it moves. Friction is a force that two surfaces exert on each other and when they rub against each other, like the car scraping against the floor when it slipped. Gravity is a force that pulls objects toward each other. The force of gravity increases with the greater mass of an object and decreases with the greater distance.
So I think we have a pretty good understanding of what has happened today, scientifically. But let's make sure we really get what's happened. The car started off speeding down the road, then acceleration increased. The driver pressed on the brakes and caused sliding friction between the road and the tires of the vehicle. But it wasn't enough to stop the car from flying off the 2-story cliff. The car went flying down the cliff and the impact forced the car to shatter into pieces. Back to you, Ysabella.
Yes, this has been a very terrible outcome. Now back to our morning television. We will return for our new broadcast at 8. Hello and welcome to Fun Science, the live science game show. I'm your host, Ysabella Bundo. Here with me is Poleen and Sarah
Markarian.
Yes. We will start by asking questions, and whoever raises their hand first answers the question. If you miss the answer, your opponent will have a chance to answer. Each point is worth 5 points. Now let's begin. Your first question is, what is acceleration? Poleen?
A roller coaster.
Incorrect. Now Sarah, you have a chance to take the lead.
Acceleration is the rate at velocity changes with time.
Correct. Our next question is, what is formula for acceleration?
The things they feed babies.
No. Okay. Sarah?
Acceleration is final velocity subtracted by the initial velocity divided by time.
Right. What is the force described by? Poleen?
P-H-O-R-K-Y.
Sarah, just answer the question.
Force is described by magnitude and the direction in which it acts.
Correct. Now Sarah is leading with 15 points and Poleen has 0. Our last question is, if you are surfing, what kind of friction would be created?
This one's easy. Surfing friction.
What are you even here for? Sarah?
Obviously, it's fluid friction. There's no such thing as surfing friction.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, in your dreams.
Congratulations, Sarah. You win by 20 points.
Thank
Here's
you.
your check of $20,000.
Thank you.
I won!
No, I won.
I won.
Thank you for watching.
I won.
Split sides. Good night, everyone.
My knee. Oh, I know, we can share it. Here you go. Oh my god.
Okay.
Bye, Mom. Okay. Stupid. Yeah.
Not that.
The live game show. Ready again?
Good morning, I am Poleen. Okay. Ysabella turns around and says, and just smiles like this. She's
yeah.
Friction between the road and the tire, but it wasn't enough to stop the car from flying off the 2-story cliff.